My guess is every once in a while when you get up in the morning or you come to church, you have somebody on your mind maybe. Doesn't have to be a best friend, but just somebody that you're thinking about. And I usually, when I get to church in the morning, I'm thinking about somebody, and then of course I punish you with my stories, but that's just the way life is. But this morning, as I walked in, because Peggy and I had talked to him last night, I was thinking about a guy who lives in Hawaii. And I've talked about him before. He was the department head at Lincoln Way High School for many, many years. And I'm not exactly sure how I first met him, but when he retired, he moved to Hawaii. I didn't know him when he lived here. And somehow connected with the church, and he went to Hawaii to take care of his mom. And then when his mom passed away, he brought her back, and I did her funeral and was buried in a cemetery in Joliet. And now Bill is like 86 or 87 years old. And I can probably count on two hands how many times I've seen him in person. Not very often. But over the years, he's gotten inside my guts. And for Bill, all that distance, All Saints Church is his lifeline. When we had the thought for the day, he listened to every single one of them. When I write my little things on Facebook, he reads them. He's probably watching the church service for the second time right now as we speak. And he's generous beyond belief. And the love bucket might as well be on his kitchen table in Hawaii. That's just the way he is. But see, now Bill needs caregivers. And the caregivers give Bill a sense of dignity and purpose. And the way he treats his caregivers, he gives them dignity and purpose. It's kind of the way life should be. And when we gather for worship every Sunday, I just feel like Bill is sitting in the front row. That's how big and important his spirit is. Early in our relationship, I would come into the office, and of course I like to call people at my convenience. And so I would, about 9 o'clock, I'd give Bill a call on the phone. I'd say, "Hey, Bill, good morning." And he said, "Don, I'm in Hawaii. It's 4 a.m. Knock it off. I love talking to you, but can you wait till about 3 o'clock your time and give me a call?" And so I've learned to call him like at 11 o'clock at night when he's having dinner. But talking to Bill and thinking about him, it makes me think of all the stuff that I take for granted every day. Simple things, like getting up by myself, walking, cutting the grass, watering the flowers, buttoning my own shirt, driving the car, going to the bathroom when I want to, feeding myself, taking a picture of the sunrise and putting it on Facebook. I just think of all those things I do every single day that many people cannot do. And how often do I step back and say thanks for the simple miracles around me? There's that book that I've read a few times. I've mentioned it a while. It's called The Boy and the Mole and the Fox and the Horse. And so the mole asked the boy, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And the boy says, "I want to be kind." And then the boy asked the horse, "What's the bravest thing you've ever done?" And the horse said, "Asking for help." You see, Bill is a very big and strong man. But over the years, he's now learned to ask for help. You know, caregivers come in all shapes and sizes. Many of you know that. Many of you have been caregivers for people in your own family. Or maybe you have caregivers in your home for someone that they take care of somebody you love. And caregivers give dignity and purpose to the people they care for. And then the people that they care for give dignity and purpose back to them. That's what caregiving is all about. Being reminded of the simple things in life and the simple things that it takes to show someone you love them and take care of them. You know, I have my routines every Sunday morning, and I usually tell you about them. I come here nice and early in the morning, make the coffee and all that kind of stuff, and then I pour myself a cup of coffee, and I go back home to check on my family. And so this morning I took my coffee and got in my truck, and as I was going down LaGrange Road, one of the cops drives by, and he back, "Hey, Don, how you doing?" And I waved to him, and I hit a pothole, and the coffee went all over myself. I mean, in my hair, on my shirt, all over the car. And I actually looked pretty good about 3 hours ago. And of course, I'm alone. I can say anything I want. But this time, I didn't. All I did, I laughed at myself. And I thought of all those people who wish they could drive, who wish they could spill coffee in their truck, and could go back home and open the door and climb the stairs and put on a fresh set of clothes. There's people that would love to do that, and they can't. And so even with a stupid mistake, I was able to laugh and say, God, I was just glad I could do that. Each of us has stuff that we do. Each of us is busy with lots of stuff, and busy is my least favorite four-letter word. Because hopefully we're never too busy to love in the midst of all the routines that we do every day. Hopefully we're never too busy to show a sense of grace and peace and forgiveness and understanding in the ordinary moments of life. And we can reach out and be kind to others no matter how full our cup may be. Especially in the last 3.5 years, a lot has changed in the world. Many of you are different. I'm different than I was 3 years ago. Maybe not always a good difference, but I'm different. The church is certainly different than it was 3 years ago. But there's one thing that's not different, and that's God, and that's Jesus. Sometimes we try to be clever. We try to find God, or we try to figure out God. God is in every breath we take. God sent Jesus here, not to start a new religion, but God sent Jesus here to embody the goodness and the grace that his Spirit is all about. He didn't come here to start a new religion. He came here to teach us how to live in the ordinary moments and miracles of life. You see, true religion is anchored, not with the word on the sign. It's anchored in kindness and love. That's how simple religion is. And maybe it gets a little complicated when kindness and love gets put on the back burner. But the command to love one another as I have loved you is at the heart and soul of who we are as God's people. And our calling and our challenge is to live that out every day, just like Danny is living it out today and bringing smiles to our face. I had a funeral yesterday, and it was for a family that has been part of the Orland Park culture for years and years. It was the Cooper family. And the matriarch, Pearl, passed away. And they're good friends with my buddies at Colonial Chapel. And so I guess they went in to make arrangements, but Pearl really didn't have a church. And so they asked Colonial, I said, my mom, she didn't have a church membership, but she wanted to have a church funeral. Do you know anybody that could possibly do that? So they came here, and boy, did they pack the house yesterday. I got here, I said, I can't pack the house. I've been here 49 years. You've been here once, and the place is full. Afterwards, the daughter comes up, and she says, you and your people welcomed us into your home, and we can't thank you enough. And I said, you know something? Today, this is your home. That's why we're here. That's why the door is open, because today it's not our home just, it's your home too, and always can be and always will be. So Bill Colgan, I know you are watching, and I hope I haven't embarrassed you too much. But see, Bill, this is your home. And the way you treat your caregivers and the way you live your life miles away, you teach us there are always, always going to be angels among us. And sometimes that angel among us might be you, or it might be me. Amen. If you're able to, please rise for the creed.